press conference this afternoon, we learned that investigators believe the men were killed over a $600 debt. La Crosse Sheriff Jeff Wolf says the biggest break in the case came the day after the shooting, when a witness came forward who said she was there when the victims were killed. The suspects are in custody right now in the La Crosse County Jail. One was arrested last night in the Wausau area, the other in the early morning hours in Amherst. These are the suspects: 41-year-old Kamiteth Ranatisak and 33-year-old Naya Tao, whose last known address was in Holman. The two men were on the run since last Friday. Their first court appearance is set for tomorrow. Now, the main reason officers made those arrests comes down to one witness. News 19's Marcus Arsvold is live outside the La Crosse County building after attending that sheriff's press conference today. So, Marcus, who was this witness and how did she help?
Heather, this witness was the only reason police have been able to call this a targeted attack since day one. La Crosse County Sheriff Wolf says she contacted the police to tell them she was with the three victims when they were killed. She was staying with them in a hotel in Onalaska. She was also in the car with them when they were followed by the suspects to the hotel. Then when she came out of the hotel, one of the suspects was in her car, the other behind the wheel of another car. And she was told to drive to the location where the three men were killed. For her safety, they haven't named her yet or said where she's from.
I can't really comment on that other than I think she was fearful.
Heather, we still don't know her name, but we do know that the La Crosse police say the La Crosse County Sheriff says she's in a secure location.
All right, thank you, Marcus. So any other big pieces of evidence?
Yeah, so the black car that was following them, they found out what that car was, and it was found in Brown County, Wisconsin. It was a black Mercedes, and it led them to helping find the other suspects. Okay,
thank you, Marcus. Now, that witness says she knew the suspects, but it's still too soon for them to share how she knew the suspects. Now, you can watch this entire press conference on our website, WXOW.com. Cleanup is underway across the state. No matter where you are, it's a good chance you can step outside right now and hear the buzz of chainsaws as trees and debris are being cleared from that monstrous storm that roared in overnight. Now, as it approached, a viewer in Black River Falls captured this video from the Jackson County Fairgrounds.
Oh, get in here, guys. Yeah, come on. I'm ready.
Wow, you can see one of the light poles collapse from the wind, and they were smart. They called the kids to make sure they got inside, and after that, lightning strikes nearby before they head indoors. And we have more video to show you from last night's storm, and we warn you this footage does feature intense flashing lights for those of you who are sensitive. Now look at this video from last night in Baldwin. Between the lightning flashes, you can see what looks like a funnel cloud, but it's unclear if it touched down because of the house blocking the view. Now, it has been confirmed there was radar that indicated rotation in that area. Meteorologist Dan Breeden joins us now. Dan, you're probably rubbing your eyes. I know you did like one of your last cut-ins about 1 o'clock in the morning. I was watching all those updates. It was really an intense night last night.
It certainly was. One of the things that probably spared us the worst of the conditions, the fact that we didn't really get as warm yesterday afternoon as we had earlier expected. So most of the real problems were more to the north and more to the east of us. So we can thank our lucky stars there, I guess. As far as going forward is concerned, less humidity starting to move in, but we've got some haze in the air. That's from Canadian wildfire smoke, and you see the reduction in visibility there, only 5 miles in La Crosse, and ordinarily that is higher than 10 miles, and you can see some even lower visibilities than that. In the meantime, it was a warm one, about normal for this time of the year. We hit 87 degrees. I'll have more coming up in just a bit. Heather?
Thanks, Dan. With cases of the Delta variant on the rise, the federal government is responding with new measures. This, as Pfizer is again making the case that booster shots may be needed. ABC's Alex Pruchet tells you that the CD says it's because its vaccine effectiveness declines after 6 months.
This afternoon, ahead of a big announcement from President Biden on COVID, the White House saying this.
He will send a strong message to all Americans, unvaccinated and vaccinated, about the need to stay vigilant in our fight against the virus.
Biden taking several new measures to fight the growing wave of COVID cases fueled by the Delta variant.
We have to make sure people are safe.
The president's action affecting the more than 2 million federal employees who now either have to get vaccinated or face a number of requirements like weekly testing, remaining socially distant at work, and limited or no work travel. On Capitol Hill, Republicans already rebuking the reversal of mask guidance from the CDC.
We got to go around and see, okay, we can't come to the floor. I can't execute my constitutional duty unless I wear a mask. Well, which is it? Vaccines or masks?
And there's a disconnect on mask policy.
To say that wearing a mask is not based on science, I think is not wise.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi mandates masks on the House side of Congress. On the Senate side, masks are simply recommended. But from coast to coast, the mask debate is becoming more common, as at least 45 states are seeing an increase in new COVID hospitalizations. Masks will be required indoors in Washington, D.C., even for the vaccinated starting Saturday. And Washington State now recommends masks indoors regardless of vaccination status. But 7 states have banned mask mandates. Pfizer is also calling for booster shots to better protect against the Delta variant. The company revealing new data showing after 6 months, their vaccine's efficacy against COVID dropped from 96% to 84%. And that data comes from March, before the Delta variant became the dominant strain.
And President Biden spoke moments ago suggesting new vaccine incentives such as $100 paid to people receiving doses. He also announced federal government employees will undergo vaccination screenings. And in another step, Biden is ordering the Department of Defense to look into requiring vaccines for members of the military.
They show that over 99% of COVID-19 deaths have been among the unvaccinated. 99%. This is an American tragedy. People are dying and will die who don't have to die.
Well, in other news, the U.S. economy is growing. In the second quarter, it grew at a rate of 6.5%. That's the fastest pace since last fall, but still slower than expected. The recovery was spurred by an increase in consumer spending, and a new jobs report is out this morning. Jobless claims dropping from last week. 24,000 fewer applications, down to 400,000 total. The peak was 900,000 at the beginning of the year. The nationwide ban on evictions is set to expire on Saturday. The CDC put the moratorium in place in September of last year. The Biden administration is allowing the moratorium to end after the Supreme Court ruled it would only be extended until the end of July. Biden is now calling on Congress to extend the moratorium in response to the spread of the Delta variant. In June, CDC Director Walensky said the current extension would be the last. Congress is now responsible for the fate of the moratorium. Earlier this month, a survey by the U.S. Census Bureau had 3.6 million Americans saying that they could face eviction in the next 2 months. Well,